Have you guys ever seen some of those really wacky fastest guitar player in the world videos? Friends, welcome to the humble guitar abode. Now, have you guys ever seen some of those really wacky fastest guitar player in the world videos? Many years ago, I'm probably going to say almost 10 years ago, I was already a very accomplished guitar player, professional musician, guitar teacher, and I decided one day after watching a video by this fellow by the name of Theodore Ziras, who has a great guitar channel, by the way, go check it out. He did this video. He was doing a 16th note, meaning 4 notes per beat exercise, and he was trying to get it at 300 beats per minute. Now, anyone that can do 16th notes over 200 beats per minute, you're doing pretty good. And he couldn't quite get it, if I remember correctly. This was the video clip here. So I remember thinking, you know, I already had really good technique, and I thought, what would I be capable of doing if I really sat down and focused? So I set up my practice routine of about 6 exercises, cracked out the metronome, and I used the metronome every day for 8 months. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that the metronome is a big part of why most people become really good on the guitar and why a lot of people don't. For more on that, check out this video here when I talk about why do most people suck on the guitar. Okay, we talk about some things that a lot of people don't maybe know about. Now, this information is a little bit more available, but when I was starting out the guitar, people were not as open about using a metronome, and a lot of guitar teachers didn't tell their students that you needed to use one. I was fortunate I had a really good teacher that got me to use one right away. As a guitar instructor, it's always a challenge when you have a student who wants to do really well, but they refuse to use the metronome because they find it boring, frustrating, which it is for the first little bit. So it's always a challenge when you have students that just don't want to use it, because then you're going to hear the argument of, well, the guitar is supposed to be fun, and you know, this isn't fun for me. Even though if they would just work with it for a couple of weeks, it would start paying them dividends back greatly to see dramatic improvement in their playing. But anyway, this video is not about talking about the metronome, but it's very, very important. I worked and worked I did, because when you do your routine with the metronome, the real magic happens when you do it every day, and after a few weeks, you really start to see the magic happening. So I got to this point after 8 months. I remember I missed one day of practice because I either had food poisoning or I had the flu. That's how dedicated I was. So this is where I ended up. I was doing the same 16th note exercise at well over 300 beats per minute. But around that time, this guy came out. And then this guy. And this guy. Oh wait, and then there was this guy. So the point being, folks, is that having really good technique is important. Having some technique is important, because most people, when they start, they have no technique at all. But I started to realize once I got to that point, when you're playing clean 16th notes at over 300 beats per minute, it just starts to sound like a buzzsaw. It's hard for people to tell the difference. And I mean, you know, who really wants to be working on Flight of the Bumblebee forever to have the fastest man in the world claim? It just became kind of redundant to me and kind of silly. Now, of course, I like to try and keep a certain level of technical proficiency, but I started to realize that this was kind of silly because no matter what you do, someone's going to come along and claim to be faster. So anyways, guys, that is my story about when I tried to be the fastest player in the world. Much wiser now, much smarter, and much better with my time. Folks, remember, practice hard, but practice smart. We'll see you soon.